Hi everyone, I am Avdesh God. In this video, we'll explore the concept of combined charts in Tableau, utilizing two chart types to build a new one. Well, let's get started. Suppose we want to build a KPI showing up how much the yearly target we have achieved of the total sales till date. We can eventually utilize a donut chart to build this KPI. Before building the visual, let us set up the order date filter for the latest available year. Let us also suppose that the target for 2020 was a sales worth of 1 million. Let us quickly build a calculation for the difference amount between the target and the actual sales. Let's call it the remaining sales. Let us select the mark type as pie over here in the marks card. Select sales field from dimensions and drop it to the row shelf. Let us now drag the calculated field remaining sales to the axis. This will build two new fields for us, that is the measure names and measure values. And if you notice, a new shelf as measure values has appeared over here. Let us now move the measure names present over the column shelf to the color shelf in the marks card. This will provide each measure a different color. As we can see the legend over here, the remaining sales are represented by a reddish shade, whereas the sales by a shade of orange. In the pie chart, we want the area of the pie to be set up by the measure values. Let's move the measure value field available over the row shelf to the angle shelf in the marks card. Let's move the sales to be the first measure in the measure value shelf. Let us also change the color of the sales and remaining sales measure names. To do so, click on the color shelf in the marks card and select Edit Colors. Let us choose a shade of green for the sales, whereas a shade of gray for the remaining sales. Let us force this visual to fill the entire view. Now, it looks close to the KPI that we initially talked about. All we need to do is convert this pie chart into a donut chart. It will eventually look like a donut chart if we can put a flat white colored circle of a radius less than the current pi. To do so, we'll require a dual axis. Let us write up an arbitrary axis using calculations in the row shelf. Let us use minimum of 1 twice. Let us use the minimum function with an arbitrary value, and that too twice. In order to convert it into a dual axis, select the drop-down and check dual axis. Let us increase the size of this pie. In the second marks card, let us remove the measure names and measure values, as we want it to be a flat circle irrespective of the measure names and measure values. Let us change its color to white and reduce the size in order to reduce the radius of this flat circle. Well, this is what we were looking forward to. Let us format this a little bit in order to make it more appealing. Let us turn on the labels for the first marks card in order to showcase the total sales so far and the remaining sales. Let us remove all these X's by right-clicking and formatting the same. We can also edit the label of the flat circle in order to provide further details around the KPI. Well, this looks good. In the next video, we learned about heat maps and tree maps in Tableau.